Well, it's been an intense competition in terms of goal scoring at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the quest of some big players at the top, especially making it quite big in the 2026 FIFA World Cup to ensure that they win the top scorers charts. We just been within the second round of games that have been played. We've not even finished, but hear me out. Lionel Messi has scored 5 goals in just 2 games. Kylian Mbappe has scored 4 goals in 2 games, and Erling Haaland has also scored 4 goals in 2 games. And of course, Lionel Messi scored 5 yesterday to set a new record as the all-time top scorer in the history of the World Cup. And of course, Kylian Mbappe also had a brace after scoring, had a hat trick, had a brace after scoring 2 goals in the first game against Senegal. Also had 4, so he's now also tiring with Miroslav Klose with 16 goals in the second joint all-time top scorer in the history of the World Cup. Erling Haaland is just making his debut at the 2026 FIFA World Cup because for a long time his country, Norway, have never been seen on the global stage since their last time out in France 1998. So Norway are making their appearance at the FIFA World Cup for the first time in the 21st century. And of course, Erling Haaland has scored a brace when the Norwegian team won by 3 goals to 2 against the Teranga Lions of Senegal this morning. Let's start with Lionel Messi. He scored a brace, and of course, when the Argentine team defeated Austria by 2 goals to 0, we are gonna remember he scored hat-trick in the first game against Algeria, and that was how we set up this competition for the defending champions as they make it into the 2026 in their quest to defend the title. Mind you, there are only 2 countries that have won the World Cup and defended the title, and that is Italy in 1934, in 1938, and of course, the Brazilian team in 1958, and of course, in 1962. So, with the exception of these 2 teams, no country has won and defended the championship. We had Argentina winning the championship in 1986, but in the finals, unfortunately, they lost against Brazil when Andreas Brehme scored the only goal of the game. So Argentina, with the little big man Lionel Messi, will have their quest to defend the title as they make inroads within the competition. So far, Argentina, after Messi's brace, has ensured that Argentina have joined the list of countries that have qualified for the round of 32, and the same also applies to Kylian Mbappe and of course Erling Haaland, as all their countries have now booked their stage into the round of 32. So Lionel Messi, within just 2 games, has scored 5. Let's get to Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe had a brace in the first game when they won 3-1 against France. And that was a battle of the colonial master against its colony, which was France against Senegal. It was a reclash of what happened in 2002 in Japan, Korea, when Pape Bouba Diop scored the only goal of the game. This time around, the French team made sure they avenged the defeat in that game against the Senegalese team. And that was when Kylian Mbappe came with a brace, brilliant goals, and then especially with one of the goals coming from a pass that was laid by Michael Olise. And of course, yesterday, Kylian Mbappe had a brace, scoring and a long run, and then of course a mistake from the back line when they were trying to build up from the back from a goalkeeping mistake when they were stepped out to kick a goal kick, and then Kylian Mbappe scored that one. Of course, Ousmane Dembele scored the other goal for the French team as they won by 3 goals to 0 against Iraq. So that set up Kylian Mbappe's goals at 4 goals at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So he has now equaled the record of Miroslav Klose. Kylian Mbappe has now equaled the record of Miroslav Klose in the history of the World Cup, which is the all-time top scorer. It used to be Miroslav Klose, who was the all-time top scorer, and now Lionel Messi has overtaken him. So Mbappe is now just 2 goals shy of Lionel Messi, just 2 goals behind Lionel Messi in terms of the all-time top scorers chart at the FIFA World Cup. Lionel Messi is now having 18. He used 6 World Cup tournaments to score 18. And Kylian Mbappe just 3 World Cup tournaments. From his first World Cup in 2018 in Russia at age 19, when he scored 4 to help the French team to win their second World Cup title. And of course, the last time out in Qatar 2022, when he ended up as the top scorer, especially by scoring a hat-trick in the final to take his tally to 8 goals. And that was 12 in all in terms of the all-time FIFA World Cup goals. And Kylian Mbappe scored 4 goals this time around, 2 against Senegal, 2 against Iraq. So that has also made it 16. So Kylian Mbappe is now equaling the record of Miroslav Klose and just 2 goals behind Lionel Messi in terms of the all-time top scorers goal king chart at the FIFA World Cup. And Erling Haaland made his debut in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And of course, when he scored in the game against Iraq, the commentator was like, World Cup meets Haaland and Haaland meets World Cup. His country, Norway, since 1998 has never made it onto the global stage because they failed to make it to around 7 consecutive World Cup tournaments. They were not there in 2002 in Japan, Korea, 2006 in Germany, 2010 in South Africa, 2014 in Brazil, 2018 in Russia, 2022 in Qatar. So just take a look at these tournaments that Norwegian team has missed out. So they've had some couple of players who've passed through, the likes of John and Reese, all those come through, but none of them has been able to play at the FIFA World Cup till this generation of guys under coach Soba Kane. Of course, they have some great guys who are complementing the effort of Erling Haaland. I mean, talking about Alexander Charlotte of Atletico Madrid, one of the top players within the La Liga. And of course, you cannot forget Martin Odegaard, the captain of Arsenal, who's been also giving tremendous performances, classical performance. And you can talk about Antonio Nusa of RB Leipzig, another one skillful player within the part of the Norwegian setup. Deep in midfield, the likes of Orsins, who plays his street with Benfica. I mean, Sander Berger, who also plays for Fulham in the English Premier League. Just take a look at the backline. Christopher Aja for Brentford. I mean, Hegem, Julian Racing, the right back with Borussia Dortmund. So the Norwegian team has some couple of brilliant players. And Pedersen, who scored the first goal in that game against Senegal, who also plays his trade with Torino in the Italian Serie A. So the Norwegian team has some kind of good players, even though some of them you might not know their names because of the fact that you might think that they will be playing low profile teams, but they have quality players who are complementing the effort of Erling Haaland. So that's the reason why he's been delivering, scoring a brace this morning in that 3-2 win against the Teranga Lions of Senegal. So that ensured Norway's 3-2 win against Senegal. So now we've seen their countries variously making it into the next stage of competition. Lionel Messi scored a brace and take the Argentina team to the next stage, which is the round of 32. Kylian Mbappe also had a brace while Ousmane Dembele had a goal. And then the French team have now secured their second win, and then of course 6 points, making it into the next stage, which is the round of 32. And after Erling Haaland's brace in the first game against Iraq when they won by 4-1, he had a brace this morning again. And of course, the Norwegian team also secured their 6 points, and they are also part of the teams that have qualified into the next stage, which is the round of 32. So today, the next game is going to be between Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. That's Norway against France. So what we just take a look at is this game is just going to be an academic exercise, because we're going to use this game to determine who tops the group, who become the top of the group. Is it going to be France or Norway as things unfold in the 2026 FIFA World Cup? It seems like the World Cup 2026 is turning to be a Messi, Mbappe, Erling Haaland show. Period. This has been the podcast channel with our. Thank you.